I think all of us find places with flowing water and greenery to nurture our souls.
The Verde River is one of Arizona's last free-flowing rivers. In addition to providing a refuge from the summer heat, irrigation for acres of agricultural land, and wildlife habitat, this river provides drinking water for residents all the way down in Metro Phoenix. As prolonged drought and climate change force us to reduce our reliance on the Colorado River, the Verde will become even more critical to the resilience of homes and businesses throughout the watershed. But since 1990, its flow has declined about 40%.
Friends of the Verde River exists because we cannot imagine a world without a healthy flowing Verde River. We've got this rare plant community here, and it's pretty endangered. So we worked with the federal government, we worked with foundations, worked with other organizations and nonprofits to improve the habitat. Around 2018, we wanted to figure out a way to communicate with more people about what was going on with the watershed. If we want to make changes, we need to be able to communicate what's happening, and we need a way to track what's happening year over year. So we worked with the Nature Conservancy and the Forest Service to do the watershed report card, and the overall score was a C+. And so ever since then, what we've been working on is projects specifically that will allow us to raise those scores. Our upland habitat did not have a good score. And so when we break that apart and look at what are the things in the upland habitat that don't have a good score, we come around to this common feature in Arizona called an erosion gully. One of the worst consequences of these erosion gullies is this thing we call a flash flood. And when a flash flood comes through the landscape, it often results in the loss of life and property. And in Arizona, every year, people die from being in flash floods. But it all starts upstream. It starts in the upland habitat. This is a process that's happening up in the upland areas far away from the river. And as the water's flowing downhill, it just gets going faster and faster and faster. So let's slow that water down. Let's get it to stay on the landscape longer, which means it'll soak in. And what's the added benefit of that? It recharges our underground water sources. So up in rural Arizona, we get our drinking water from one place and one place only, and that is underground. There's so many things that we can do individually on our own homes, just keeping water on our property to allow it to soak in. We're working with homeowners, businesses, developers, farmers, cities, to help them become more river friendly in kind of a little structured way.
Right now we're working with just under 50 homeowners and business owners. So we work with them to implement sustainability projects. And today we're here with Darren Dinsmore at a tiny camp Cottonwood Resort.
This is a small 4-unit infill project right in Old Town Cottonwood. We've instituted rainwater capture from the roofs and also gray water from the showers. The people that stayed here last night are helping to irrigate this basin, and it's also planted with pollinator plants, so we're attracting butterflies and bees back to this urban environment.
By implementing the gray water and rain harvesting systems here at Tiny Camp Cottonwood Resort, we're able to capture and reuse up to 20,000 gallons of water per year here on site.
I think it's really important to see a community taking ownership of the problem and understanding that they have a role to play in keeping the Verde River healthy and flowing. And so anyone who's interested in contributing to science, maybe collecting data in any way, shape, or form, we have these special projects for them that we call citizen science or community science. And we've got 2 that are active right now. One is the Verde Water Watchers.
We're out here today training volunteers on how to sample water quality on Oak Creek so they can become community scientists and inform important decisions for the river.
All of those volunteers just amplify and extend this important work for the Verde River.
Over the last decade, Friends of the Verde River has restored 12,000 acres of riverside habitat, offset more than 32 million gallons of groundwater pumping, and engaged hundreds of volunteers and community scientists. But perhaps more importantly, they've also built capacity, community, and connection to the river, social infrastructure that will help ensure long-term resilience.
This work to save the Verde River is not something anyone can do alone. Planting seeds is so important, and I hope that every time we interact with somebody about the river, about the habitat, about nature, I hope that we're planting seeds that will grow someday into something really important in that person's life.